Good morning and welcome to Stories of the Mission. Today we're going to be talking about my mission in the Baltimore, Maryland mission. My mission started in December of 2016. I went into the MTC about 2 weeks before Christmas. It was a lot of fun. I became good friends with many missionaries who were going to various missions, including Boston and Farmington, New Mexico missions, as well as the Maryland-Baltimore mission, as my mission was called. Today, I wanted to talk about one of the crazy stories that happened while I was in Maryland on my mission. I served in a variety of areas in Maryland, as well as West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Our mission covered those four states, and I was privileged to serve in all four of those states and in various towns in those states. About 50% of my mission was in the state of Maryland, and the rest of it was most of the rest was in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, and one transfer in Virginia. But I just had the craziest experiences, especially in Baltimore City. Baltimore was one of those cities that you will never forget. If you go there and you walk around, you're going to see a lot of stuff that you've never seen in your entire life, right? I served in two different areas in Baltimore City. They have a total of three physical boundary locations that cover the city, or wards, 3 wards that cover the city, and I served in 2 of those wards or areas. One of the stories that we like to talk about was this one time in Baltimore, was only a busing area, so we would not have a car, or we never rode bikes, and so we were always on the bus or the metro. And if you know anything about the bus or metro in Baltimore, it is a happening spot. Everyone rides it. Everyone that's on the street, everyone that lives there, they all ride the metro or the bus. So this one day, we got this Book of Mormon referral. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically we receive a text and an email that a person has gone onto one of our various websites and has requested a free Book of Mormon. And so we're pretty excited because this doesn't happen very often. And we immediately go hop on the metro, ride down into one of the a little bit risky parts. It's a stop called Mondawmin. And we get off there and we get on a bus to take us to the rest of our way. And we didn't really realize it, but in hindsight, it was one of the most deadly areas in all of Baltimore. Not so much deadly, but maybe just dangerous, even though there are people killed there on a weekly basis. But we got off this bus and in this really sketch neighborhood, and we get off and we walk across the street and we see these groups of guys, like big dudes, and they're kind of huddling on one side of the street and then the other side of the street. And so there's 2 groups, and there's one that's near a truck and one near a building. and we're like, oh man, there's something going down here. There's not good things happening. Bunch of drug deals or something. And so we're like, okay, we need to walk quickly. But we see this guy, and he's walking straight towards us. And he shouts out, "Y'all not afraid of us?" And we're like, "Nope." And we continue walking, and he says, "Well, you should be." And we're kind of like, okay. So we continue walking, and we turn the corner to get to the house where the person is that requested the Book of Mormon. And these 3 cop cars pull up, going on that same street that we just came from. And we're on the corner, and they stop, and they say, "Hey, do you guys know where you're at?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, you're in the one of the most dangerous parts of all of Baltimore right now." So, and then he basically rolls up his window and drives over to those guys, flashes his lights on, and goes and arrests all of them. And so we're like, okay, let's go. And it was pretty dark out at that time, but we went to see the referral, and of course they were not there. And so all of that was for really nothing. But this has been another episode of Stories from the Mission, brought to you by Staples, your one-stop shop for everything office.
That was easy.